When you think about the overall aspect of YouTube, learning that algorithm, learning how to post, when to post, what content would work, how were you able to get through that aspect? Like, it's a lot for somebody to learn, and you went full in. The good news is that you went all in, and that became a full time for you. While you were working as well, I understand you started your YouTube in 2015, which you had a great starting point, and much earlier on than many others who started after you. But understanding the algorithm, ye kaisa chalega, kya chalega, titles, thumbnails, there is a lot of complications. It's not like just you can put up any video and it will work. How did you figure out all of those aspects?
ठोकर खा के.
Nice.
If you meet somebody in YouTube and you ask them what is the algorithm, I doubt anybody will be able to give you that answer. I doubt, seriously doubt whether anybody really knows. And there is one formula. There's probably no one formula. It's probably
Hmm.
you know, like the stock exchange, upar niche, every day based on response. They just so you live, you learn. The only couple of things which I said are going to be my North Star. One is that I will post a
Hmm.
video every Friday. And I have
Okay.
to say that in 8 years, so I have been able to do about 450 odd videos, which is roughly about 52 weeks into 8 years. So I can literally count on my fingertips the Fridays that I would have missed. So that was one thing which I decided that come what may. And that
Hmm.
helped, because you put up a video, you put your life into it, you put your soul into it, and it doesn't do well. And that happened all the time. You know that. We all know
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Now, if I sit and look at that and say, "वो क्यों नहीं चला? क्या हो गया? What about this? What is it? Not nobody done?" That's the end of it. वो नहीं चलेगा. So
Yeah.
I decided that okay, the moment I put up the video, I've sent it into the black hole, and it's no longer mine. It's gone. Now the universe will
Hmm.
show it to whoever it needs to be and open it in front of whoever screen it needs to, whether it's that girl from Afghanistan or there was another girl. I'm digressing right now, but there was another girl who watched
No.
one of my interviews with Terence Lewis. And
Okay.
she came back and she was a prospective dancer, I remember, and she was struggling. And she told me, she says, I was thinking, contemplating suicide. And she
Wow.
said, I saw your video in which Terence, and the story of that man, he grew up literally in a slum, I'll say. Out of eight
Hmm.
children, his father was a mill worker, and he was one out of the eight children. And from there, he says in the video, he told me it took me 20 years to become an overnight success.
Hmm.
And she watched that video and she said, I watched that video of yours and I've decided that I will put in those 20 years before I call it quits, and I will put my life and soul into it. I will not give up. So I'm coming back. So when your video doesn't do well, but you see these little sparkles of hope and you say, what is my next Friday? And then I'm always just thinking about my next Friday. I'm saying, oh, ho gaya, done. And that sort of keeps you going. Then you learn, obviously. Like I said, I attended a lot of workshops. Even now, today, I attend YouTube workshops. I think YouTube must be saying, very few sort of 8-year-old YouTubers are still attending workshops. But I'm aware of the fact that there is even today, I am no expert. There is a lot left there which I don't know. It's just that I keep
Hmm.
making notes to self saying, okay, this keep in mind, that keep in mind. So there are a lot of notes stuck here, but there is a huge amount of learning still remaining. I mean, honestly, that will never end.
Yeah. What will be your advice? Because some people have this perspective it is overcrowded market as well right now, creating content. What will be your advice to somebody who's thinking of starting today?
Yeah, it's a big question because you're right. Every corner you go to, there are kids coming and asking you, I want to become a YouTuber, and they they're not even looking for your advice. Actually, they're pretty sure they want to become YouTubers. So when I'm asked for advice, this is what I would say. I think a YouTube channel is like a startup. And
Yeah.
at this point, I would say do a startup only if you feel you have some idea or some concept or something which is going to change something which is already existing. So, A, don't just say, I want to start a channel and then I'll figure it out. So, you have to have a very, what is that compelling thing that I'm going to do, which right now most people are not doing. So, one, if you know that, what is that? And what is your real USP? Because 8 years back, you could be jack of all trades. Today, it's not going to be. Today, people come to you for a specific reason and they go to somebody else for a specific reason. So, what is that a specific thing that you are going to bring to the table? Now, that is just the beginning. The second thing that I would say to them is, do you have the staying power? If you fail repeatedly every Friday, in my case, every Friday, in your case, whatever, the frequency, if you
Thursdays.
fail repeatedly every Thursday at box office, you're failing. For my 99th video was successful. Okay, so let's just put perspective.
Wow.
99 Fridays later, I was 2 years later. Two
Hmm.
years of putting up stuff every Friday. The 99th video showed me a glimmer of hope. But do you have the staying power and the ability to keep doing what you're doing because you love it so much and you believe so much in it, even if you're failing repeatedly? If the answer is yes, do it. But if the answer is I want to make money, then there are better places to make money. There is a job, for instance. Job gives you a steady flow of money every month, and hopefully it'll keep increasing month on month. And I did a job with Byju's for 3 years, even though my channel was 5 years old, and I could have said, okay, no, I want to make. But I did a job and I ran my channel on the side.
Hmm.
So I would say, don't do YouTube to make money. Do it because you
Yeah.
have the passion to do it and you have the patience and the determination to continue doing it because you love it so much. And then if you're meant to make money and it's meant to do well, and all of that will happen. But if you want to
Yeah.
make money, I would say there are other places to go to.
I hope you enjoyed this clip from my podcast series called Masters Decoded. The intention of bringing these clips to you is to allow you to understand some key moments of the conversations I've had with my guest. I would recommend and highly encourage you to listen to the entire podcast, which you can find the link to the podcast in the description below. I look forward to you subscribing to my channel and hit the bell icon so that you can be notified of all the future clips which we keep releasing every week on this channel.